Good morning, and welcome to the May 18th Assembly Appropriations Committee hearing. Noting the current absence of a quorum, we will begin as a subcommittee. I believe we will begin with Ms. Brown. Ms. Brown, I assume you're going to present on AJR 35, which is a suspense candidate.
First, I'd like to present on AB 2700.
It's on consent. Are you sure you want to pull it off consent to present on it?
Oh, we didn't know that. I'm sorry. Hey, you know what? I think I'll just present on AJ.
Great, thank you. I think that's a fine idea.
I really didn't get that information this morning.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. It was probably my fault. Okay. Madam Chair and committee members, thank you for hearing AJR 35. AJR 35 urges the federal government to change the federal policy in order to allow California to equitably end the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, cash out policy for beneficiaries of supplemental security and income and state supplementary payment programs. What has happened is in 1973, our state made a deal with the federal government to give our recipients $10. For that, they would give up the food stamps. The food stamp program made now is $125 or $135, and our seniors are really, really hurting. This particular plan is just to ask the federal government to let's look at that again. It's been many, many years. So I have two witnesses who will self-introduce and speak in support of AJR 35.
Good morning. I'm Kevin Asley. I'm with the Coalition of California Welfare Rights Organizations, and we're having a handout passed out that shows that over 1 million SSI recipients are living at 90% of the federal poverty level. And today they could get $135 a month in food stamps, but they're not getting it because of cash out. If AGR passes, they could get their food stamps, hopefully. The daily total loss that Californians experience is $4 million. The monthly is $122 million, and annually we lose, SSI recipients lose $1.5 billion. If we add the economic stimulus to that, California loses $4 million a year, $4 billion a year of economic opportunity, and that equals to maybe 200,000 jobs. We urge an aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go to the next speaker, if it's okay, we'd like to establish quorum. Thank you.
Gonzalez.
Present.
Bigelow. Bloom. Bonilla. Bonta. Calderon. Patterson. Daly. Here. Eggman. Gallagher. Here. Garcia. Yes. Hernandez. Holden. Jones. Here. Obenoti. Here. Quirk.
Here.
Santiago. Wagner. Weber. Here. Wood. Here.
Thank you. So quorum is established, and we'll go ahead now. We are in full committee. Thank you for our second witness.
Chair Gonzalez, members, my name is Chris Jensen. I had to read my own name. That's how nervous I am. I am the Systems Change Advocate and Community Organizer for Resources for Independent Living, RIL for short. RIL is a nonprofit social justice agency promoting the socioeconomic independence of persons with disabilities by providing peer-supported, consumer-directed, independent living services and advocacy. We are located at the intersection of disability and poverty. We are one of 27 independent living centers in California, and our service area is Sacramento and Yolo counties. The Rehabilitation Act of 1973 mandated ILCs, so we've been around for a long time. Our annual needs assessment of issues that consumers need, they need assistance with that shows food insecurity to be a top concern, and we do a needs assessment every year to find out what the people that come to see us feel is important. And we ask for your legislative support. The issue of food insecurity is of constant concern to our consumers living on SSI without access to the SNAP program. Living on $89.40 a month means that every penny is budgeted, and it is never enough. A majority of our consumers living on SSI have multiple disabilities and chronic health conditions that require expensive diets of fresh fruits and vegetables and lean protein. Obesity is a serious health issue when consumers stretch their inadequate food budget with inexpensive starchy carbohydrates. Their weight issues are more the result of eating high caloric nutrition light food than of overeating. Thank you to Assemblymember Brown and the co-authors of AJR 35. Ending the cash-out program and replacing it with an eligibility link to CalFresh is an important step you can take to improve the health and wellness of Californians with disabilities living at dangerously low levels of household income. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else in support? Any speakers in opposition? Department of Finance?
No file.
This is a suspense candidate. Would you like to close, Ms. Brown?
Yes. This should not be a problem for the state of California to merely ask the federal government to relook at how they're allocating food stamps or the SNAP program. That money goes back to the federal government. We're not using it for others. And our seniors, as I've gone through our district, are telling me we need to be able to eat fresh fruits and vegetables. We don't have enough money to buy food, transportation, and have lodging. And every month, many of them are saying, every month they're paying $20 more on their rent than they've paid the year before. We've got to do something about this because everyone else is getting paid. Seniors need to be taken care of, and it's very, very important, dire to their success. Thank you very much. I ask for your aye vote as this goes to suspense.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. We have a motion for the consent calendar. A second by Mr. Wood. We will read the bills at the end of committee, but that gets out on a roll call. Next is Ms. Garcia, but I think we're still setting up. Are we ready? I'm going to take that as we're ready in the back here. All right, Ms. Garcia. This is a suspense candidate.
Thank you. I'll be brief. Madam Chair, members, AB 1561 would exempt tampons and sanitary napkins from sales tax and use. This is fundamentally about gender equity. We don't tax any other non-optional health products that is needed every month uniquely by one gender for 40 years of their lives. Our sales tax code exemptions are a reflection of what we value. We value motion pictures and candy over menstrual products, which are federally regulated medical devices. It's time we value women's health. In this moment, we need to ask ourselves if we, the state of California, should continue to tax women on essential health items. The answer I have heard from men and women from both sides of the aisle is no. As the society progresses, our laws should too. Our tax code needs to reflect that we don't live in a time where we should be taxing women for being born women. The money from the tampon tax should remain in the hands of our mothers, our sisters, and our daughters, period. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Do we have witnesses in support?
Good morning, Madam Chair and members. Kiara Ross on behalf of the City of Glendale in support of the bill.
Good morning, Christina Romero, Planned Parenthood Affiliates of California, in strong support.
Hello, Rebecca Gonzalez, National Association of Social Workers California chapter in support.
Leah Barrows on behalf of NARAL in support.
Nicolina Hernandez on behalf of Target in support.
Do we have any speakers in opposition? You can have 2 minutes.
Thank you. I'll be incredibly brief. Faith Conley with the California State Association of Counties. We recognize the merits of this bill. We respectfully have to oppose it. Right now, counties receive about half of the total revenue for sales and use tax in the state. About 2/3 of that is constitutionally dedicated to our own local public safety programs, as well as health and human services. So while, again, we recognize the merits of the bill, we have to oppose it just to the loss of revenue that's going to come to our counties. With that, I would respectfully ask for your opposition. Thanks.
Department of Finance.
We do not have a position on this bill. We estimate state and local revenue loss of approximately $20 million annually.
Any questions? It's a suspense candidate if you'd like to.
I respectfully ask for your aye vote. While it will be taking away $10 million collectively across all of our local governments, I think it's something they can make up, and we should not be making monies on the back of women for being born women. And so I think that the loss of revenue is not an excuse to continue this horrible law. Thank you.
Thank you. We are moving on to Mr. Mainshine. Mr. Mainshine, you have a suspense candidate you're going to present on?
I like. I'm maybe reading into your subtle tone there on this one.
You could just present on your AB 2257, which enjoys a due pass recommendation. It is, of course, your option.
I'm torn between all the people I go to the airport with as to what I should do on this.
Apparently, Mr. Jones wants a very long meeting. You're welcome to present on either
all right,
bill.
I'll present on 2257, which is a favorite of Mr. Bigelow.
I appreciate that. It does enjoy a due pass recommendation.
And I appreciate that, Madam Chair. I want to open by thanking CSAC and the League for working, and the League of Cities for working with my office on the recent amendments that remove their opposition and improve the bill. The Brown Act was passed by the legislature to ensure transparency and openness in local governing meetings, but new technology has exposed areas of the Act that need to be updated. Under the Brown Act, the legislative body of a local agency is required to post an agenda no less than...
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Bigelow, a second by Mr. Quirk.
With that, thank you very much, Madam Chair and members. I respectfully request an aye vote.
Speakers in support?
Just be real brief.
I think there's one coming up.
Rob Krinke with Grassroots Labs, sponsor of the bill. Thanking you for the recommendation to pass.
California State Association of Counties. We did have an oppose unless amended position. Just wanted to throw out that we changed our position to neutral. We thank the author as well as the sponsor very much for taking the absolutely necessary amendments to remove our opposition.
Any speakers in opposition? Questions?
No question. Just a compliment to the author for working with all the parties to make sure you worked out the finer details.
Thank you.
Really good bill.
Thank you.
I didn't forget. Almost, though. Department of Finance?
We do not have a position on this bill. No fiscal impact.
Great. Would you like to close, Mr. Mainshine?
I respectfully request an aye vote.
And that gets out on an A roll call.
Thank you.
Would you like to make the presentation on your suspense bill?
I will, Madam Chair, in deference to you and the committee, I'll waive presentation.
I appreciate that.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Mr. Mainshine. Mr. Mathis. You're presenting on AB 1749. It enjoys the due pass recommendation. We have a motion by Mr. Bigelow and a second by Mr. Quirk.
All right, Madam Chair, members, I thank you for your support for Eastside Porterville and the regional solution. I ask for your aye vote.
Speakers in support? Here we go.
Sylvia Solisha on behalf of the City of Santa Monica in support.
I'm going to ask for the future if we can keep that line clear so that when people are ready to speak that I like to move a little quickly. Speakers in opposition. Department of Finance?
No file.
No questions. Would you like to close?
I ask for your support.
Thank you. There was a motion and a second. That gets out on a roll call with the chair not voting.
Thank you.
Who's next? Mr. Mays. Mr. Mays, looks like you're presenting on AB 1748, enjoys a due pass recommendation.
Great. We'll just get through this quickly then.
A motion by Mr. Bigelow and a second by Mr. Quirk.
I can give the presentation if you'd like, if you feel it's necessary, or if not, I'll defer to you, Madam Chair.
I'll leave that up to you.
Okay, well, I'll go through this quickly. Members, Madam Chair, members, in 2014, 4,500 Californians died of drug overdose, most related to opioids. And in Sacramento alone, 50 people have been treated for opioid overdose just since March. This highlights the need to expand access to naloxone, a medication that can block the effects of opioids and stop overdoses. Historically, the medication has been available to an injection, but last year, the FDA approved an easy-to-use nasal spray. That's what it is right there. AB 1748 allows schools on a voluntary basis to stock naloxone on their campuses and allows school nurses and other trained volunteer employees to administer it to someone suffering an overdose. This isn't a medication that will be needed every day, but there is so little downside that it makes sense to allow schools the option to stock it. For instance, schools with long emergency service response times or in areas with high rates of drug abuse might be especially likely to stock this medication. Recognizing the importance of getting this medication into schools, the manufacturer of the nasal spray partnered with the Clinton Foundation to offer the 2 free doses to every high school in the United States. This bill simply gives schools the authority to accept those free doses. We've accepted significant amendments in the Judiciary Committee to address the concerns of employee groups, and the only state fiscal impact is $60,000 to develop training standards. I'll now introduce Glenn Backus, representing the Drug Policy Alliance, for a very, very quick brief.
Glenn Backus, Drug Policy Alliance, in support.
California Society of Addiction Medicine, in support of the bill.
Lydia Bourne, representing California School Nurses, in support.
Speakers in opposition? Department of Finance? Mr. Quirk.
I am very proud to say that Republicans in this state, as well as Democrats, support this, and different in other states, and I think California should be leading the way. And thank you very much, Mr. Mays.
Thank you.
Mr. Mays, I applaud you, and I think that this is a really good bill. Just a little anomaly that does crop up. It only affects 2 people here in the state legislature, myself and Mr. Gers. Oh, gosh. You sit right behind me. 2 members in the legislature are certified EMTs.
Yep.
Thank you. I totally went blank. Anyway, Mr. Rodriguez and myself, we will never be able to administer this drug to anyone because under our scope of practice and our training, we're prohibited from giving anyone their own medications or life-saving medications because of those things. Maybe if through this walk and this journey, you might be able to help remedy that. So it's just a thought. It's just a thought, sir. Because here we are, certified medics, do all great things, but because of that scope of practice training, we're bound by those rules and cannot help.
Well, I think it'll be something that we'll address next year. That's not the scope of this current bill,
No,
but we
it allows all these people out here.
But we understand that. Appreciate it.
Just say it.
Yeah.
It's a good bill. I'm with you.
Mr. Mays, would you like to close?
Respectfully request an aye vote.
And you got it. You're out on a roll call. Thank you. I would like to announce that Assemblymember Patterson is covering for Assemblywoman Chang today. Thank you, Mr. Patterson. All right, Ms. Baker. You're presenting on AB 2346. It enjoys a due pass recommendation.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for the due pass recommendation. A special thanks also to Assemblymember Olber-Nolte for being a co-author of this bill. I would just like to say that this bill will allow for Department of Social Services hearings the position statement of the state to be available electronically and efficiently, especially for constituents who are in rural and semi-rural areas. This is a very good way to go.
Second.
And I respectfully ask for your aye vote. And again, thank you for the due pass recommendation.
Mr. Bigelow moved the bill. There was a second by Mr. Quirk. Speakers in support.
Kevin Asner, Coalition California Welfare Rights Organization, sponsor of the bill, and this bill would bring the statute into the 21st century. Thank you.
Any other speakers in support? Speakers in opposition? Department of Finance? Would you like to close, Ms. Baker?
Thank you. Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, and that gets out on an A roll call.
Thank you.
Ms. Lopez, you're presenting today on AB 2036. It enjoys a due pass recommendation.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members. Today I'm pleased to present AB 2036, which will require online child care posting service to provide the following information. One, to provide information on California Trust Line, and second, to provide the description of the information included in the background check take by the nanny or the babysitter. As you might know, that analysis of the cost is minor and is based on the idea that we'll have 2,000 cases a year. This cost is based around enforcement on compliance. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
That bill was just moved by Mr. Bigelow and seconded by Mr. Quirk. Are there speakers in support?
Yes. Good morning. My name is Jennifer Greppy, and I'm here with the Child Care Resource and Referral Network. And we have the statutory responsibility to mandate trust line administration. Under the contract with the California Department of Social Services, we host Trust Line, which is a free number that parents can call. And we have about 100 parents that call each day looking for information about background checks for their nannies or babysitters. Through our work related to Trust Line, we became aware of the types of background checks offered to parents by online child care job posting services like care.com and others. We were surprised to find out that these background checks contain information from only 29 of California's 58 counties, and that the databases are searched in those 29 counties vary from county to county. For example, in San Francisco, the only database checked is the most wanted list. There is no data provided on convictions or arrests. 2036 is an important step towards protecting children from child care from babysitters and nannies that are hired from online jobs posting sites. We ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers in support? Speakers in opposition? Department of Finance?
No file.
Questions from committee? With that, would you like to close?
Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. That gets out on an A roll call with Mr. Obernolte not voting. Thank you, Ms. Lopez.
Thank you.
Ms. Irwin. Ms. Irwin, I assume you're going to be presenting on AB 2143, which enjoys a due pass recommendation.
That is correct. Madam Chair and committee members, current law only allows certain title organizations and financial institutions to electronically record legal documents, and this will expand the number of entities that can record electronically. I ask for your aye vote.
The bill was moved by Mr. Bigelow, seconded by Mr. Quirk. Speakers in support.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, Rob Grossklauser with the County Recorders Association of California. E-recording is very efficient, saves costs. Thank you.
We like efficiency. Additional speakers in support.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Sean Hoffman with the California District Attorneys Association. We don't have a position at this time, but we do support the concept. We think expanded e-recording is the way of the future. We've been working with the author's staff on identifying and tightening up some security issues, but look forward to the bill moving out of committee so we can continue those conversations.
Thank you. Any speakers in opposition? Department of Finance?
No file.
See no questions. Would you like to close?
Ask for your aye vote, please.
You got it. You get out on an A roll call vote. Thank you. We're going to allow Mr. Gallagher to present now. Mr. Gallagher, you're going to present on AB 2551, which enjoys a due pass recommendation.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair and members. Today I'm proud to present AB 2551, a bipartisan bill which would authorize alternative contracting methods for surface storage projects that receive Proposition 1 funding. Authorizing these projects to utilize alternative deliveries such as design, build, and construction management at risk instead of traditional design, bid, build will help expedite these projects and increase our water storage capacity. Benefits include higher quality work, cost certainty, and greater flexibility in awarding the contract. AB 2551 also authorizes contracts to be awarded on a best value or lowest responsible bidder basis and lays out a process by which local agencies will solicit bids. Additionally, AB 2551 will require a bidder to use a skilled and trained workforce in order to pre-qualify and ensure quality work. I'd ask for your aye vote, and I do have some witnesses here in support.
Okay, we do have a motion by Mr. Bigelow and a second by Mr. Quirk. Speakers in support.
Andrew Meredith, representing the California State Building and Construction Trades Council, in strong support.
Additional speakers in support? Speakers in opposition? Department of Finance?
We have a neutral position on this bill, no fiscal impact.
Seeing no questions from my colleagues, would you like to close, Mr. Gallagher?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I just ask for your aye vote, and as we continue forward in this process as well.
Thank you. That gets out on a roll call vote. Mr. Allen? Mr. Allen, it looks like you're going to present on a suspense candidate, AB 2433.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Chair. Here today to present AB 2433, the 21st Century Voter Registration Update Initiative, for your consideration. This bill has passed both elections and privacy with bipartisan support after 2 in-depth policy conversations. So the bill before you today, we've taken every amendment that's been offered to focus and improve the bill. And what it will do is enact a Presidential Commission on Elections recommendation by authorizing California to enroll in the Pew Research's Electronic Registration Information Center, or ERIC, program. Simply put, 2433 will make sure that every Californian's vote counts. The story is very simple. California's voter registration rolls, like many other states, remain based largely on outdated programs and information. Inheriting inefficiencies in the system have resulted in unnecessarily high costs and made it very difficult to modernize voter rolls. It's estimated that in the country, 1 in 8 individual voter rolls contain serious errors, such as wrong addresses or which county the voter is residing in. In addition, in California, where over half of our voters participate in our absentee voters, it's all the more important to have correct data. So this bill will simply be another step to drive voter turnout and accurately understand election participation. There are currently 18 other states, both Republican and Democrat, which have enrolled in ERIC, including Wisconsin, which just passed it this morning. The data that goes to ERIC, all of our voter registration data, is extremely secure. It's anonymized via one-way hashing. It's anonymized once here at the state and then again at ERIC. So it's double encrypted, and this is a very strong system. So to reiterate, this bill, AB 2433, simply authorizes the Secretary of State to participate in ERIC if he chooses that the program is financially and operationally beneficial for all California. The bill also, according to the Secretary of State's office, should provide a net potential cost savings of $500,000 to $800,000 every 3 years. So to help me present today is David Becker, the Director of Elections Initiatives for Pew Charitable Trust, who flew out from D.C. To just do a quick overview on the program and answer any further questions.
Thank you. You have 2 minutes, if you can.
Absolutely. Hi, we're pleased to support AB 2433. Just to give you a little background, ERIC's a multi-state partnership. It's governed and controlled by the states that are members. As Assemblyman Allen mentioned, there are 18 members in ERIC, including many western states such as Alaska, Colorado, Nevada, Oregon, Utah, and Washington, and several large states like Illinois and Pennsylvania. And Arizona, as well, is also in the final stages of joining, meaning that every state that borders California will have access to this very important tool to help find voters who've moved and help register citizens who aren't yet registered. To date, ERIC states have identified over 150,000 deceased individuals still on the rolls and well over 3 million voters who have moved from the address on file. And additionally, the states involved in ERIC have registered over 700,000 new voters, often directing them to efficient online voter registration. The data in ERIC is fully protected. It's governed by the states that run it, and they doubly anonymize all of the data. So there's no data inside of ERIC that could ever be breached. And in 4 years that ERIC's been in existence, there's never been a data breach. ERIC maintains the confidentiality of that data completely. So there's never any report. It's in a relationship with the state. So it's basically like a vendor with the state where it keeps that data completely confidential. The costs for joining ERIC are fairly minimal. There's a one-time cost of $25,000 for each state, and then each state pays its share of the dues. California would be around $100,000 per year. Right now, that would go down over time, but that dwarfs in comparison to the $240,000, for instance, right now, that this state pays for change of address data. So it actually ends up saving money because that change of address data is currently incorporated into ERIC. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions anyone might have.
Thank you for your presentation. Other speakers in support?
Ed Behrens on behalf of the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors in support.
Amy Jenkins on behalf of the Orange County Board of Supervisors in support.
Any additional speakers in support? Speakers in opposition? Department of Finance?
We have an opposed position on this bill. We're opposed to this bill because it would result in significant additional general fund costs. And further, this bill appears to change state policy of protecting certain personal information from disclosure. Ongoing general fund costs to the Secretary of State is estimated to be between $1.7 million and $2.5 million. And cost to the DMV to transmit the prescribed data to the Secretary of State is likely to be significant.
Thank you. Mr. Quirk?
So I'm sorry, I didn't realize you'd be presenting on this, so I haven't read everything about the bill. But I'm trying to figure out. So the idea is that you would have in this database information on where everyone lives. So if they were to be registered to vote and move to a new address in another state, and then you'd be able to figure that out and get them registered in the new state and take them off the rolls in the current state. That's the basic idea.
Dave, go ahead. You start there.
That's exactly right. It works in both ways. So if you move to another state, you'll get registered in that new state, and the old state can begin the process of removing you from the list.
Okay. And then in addition to voter registration information, it also has car registration or licensing information. Is that? I heard something about DMV, so could you expand on that a bit?
So only licensing information necessary for the purposes of identifying the best address. So only name and address information is really in there in any kind of readable form. And so, but there's no car registration information. It's only licensing information.
So a lot of people have the same name. There are, I don't know, there were a number of William J. Quirks in New York City when I lived there. I don't really quite understand how this would work. If all the information you really have is a name, how can you tell that someone's really moved from one place to another?
There's actually significantly more data that's matchable. It's just not in any kind of human readable form. So for instance, driver's license number is anonymized doubly, and it creates a value, a 45-digit alphanumeric set of characters that can be matched. So it actually, ERIC is the most sophisticated matching that can ever be done on this. There has yet to be a false positive that we found from 4 years of ERIC matching. They're very, very confident in it. But if anyone ever broke into ERIC, they would find gibberish in those fields because ERIC doesn't actually need to know what a driver's license number is.
And I can understand how that works. The thing is, if you move within a state, the driver's license information helps. But if you moved across the state line, it doesn't. So again, across state lines, I don't really quite understand how you would do the matching.
There's last four social is treated the same exact way, which DMV files often have. It's only the last four. But when you have the name, including fuzzy name matching, previous addresses and current addresses, date of birth, also doubly anonymized, last four of social, doubly anonymized, driver's license, doubly anonymized, email address, and so there's various points at which it can match. It's actually, it would take a long time to describe, and I'm trying to do it very quickly, obviously, but it's been very effective so far.
Okay, no, that does sound like it makes sense, and I do think it protects privacy the way you've described it. Okay, thank you.
I have a question as well, just on, have you had any problems with taking students off their home rolls inappropriately?
So ERIC doesn't actually take anyone off the list. What it does, it just sends information to the state to allow them to figure out what's going on. So for instance, if someone had registered to vote at a student, for instance, at an address in California, but had a driver's license that they updated to a newer address close to school, that person probably could register to vote in either place, and it'd be perfectly appropriate if they wanted to vote at home. What Eric will do is just tell the state, and the state will send a mailing to that person to basically ask them, hey, have you moved? Is this the address you want for voting purposes? It won't automatically do that. It will just prompt the state to ask the person where they choose to be voting in California.
But that would be up to an individual Secretary of State of whether they wanted to ask that question or purge the list. Is that correct?
Actually, no. There's under federal law, under the National Voter Registration Act, they can't just purge the list. They have to go through a process, and Eric has it actually written into the membership agreement and bylaws, so no Secretary of State could just remove someone from the list just because Eric gave them a report about that. They have to contact that person.
They have to attempt to contact that
Right.
person. I have an additional question on the cost. It's a large cost. Is the Secretary of State in support of this bill?
So the Secretary of State has been working with us. They're not formally taking a position, but they have actually expressed appreciation of the fact that this would give him the tool without mandating that he has to do it. And in relation to the cost is $100,000, $25,000 one time, and about $100,000, which would decline as more states join ERIC because it's a cooperative. However, we're currently paying, as was mentioned, $240,000 to the National Change of Address program. That cost would be subsumed in ERIC, so we'd actually see a net savings there of approximately $140,000 a year, which then leads into the estimate of cost savings from the Secretary of State of $500,000 to $800,000 in the next 3 years.
Of course, that's expecting that the DMV data could be transferred at no cost.
I would assume that he's probably done that calculation. I would hope he has.
I think the Department of Finance had a different position on that. I have one additional question. It would seem that the most, well, I know the Secretary of State's desire ever to engage with ERIC has to do with unregistered voters. That, of course, having the list of names of folks who are unregistered and thus registering new voters. I assume, Mr. Allen, if we pass this bill, you would be in support of any future efforts to have expenditures to register unregistered voters, because that is the primary basis by which ERIC would be a net positive for the Secretary of State's office.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I really think that we want to have as much participation in the voter process as possible. So the more Californians we get to vote, I think the better off we all are.
I'm going to take that as a commitment.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for presenting. Would you like to close?
I'll take that as my close. Also, I'd just like to mention, if I could, the bill's also received strong support from the California Association of Clerks and Election Officials and Fair Vote. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Gomez.